Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your tarot card reading for Monday, July 8th of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Let's go ahead and hop into it to see what we have going on this Monday. I have the Ten of Swords. Whoa, looks like there's something coming to an end. Something's coming to an abrupt ending here with the Ten of Swords. Probably honestly for the best. Let's see what else we have. I have the King of Wands in reverse. I think today we get some news drops. I'm not even gonna lie. This King of Wands, it almost feels like there's a loss of power, a shift. Something happens here. I think we do get some interesting news that definitely shifts people's perception on reality and their ideas and thoughts of what the future is going to hold. You know, we do have this moon in Leo. It's going to make a quincunx over to Saturn. It's going to square Mars and it's going to trine Chiron. So this moon is, even though it's in a nice place in Leo, it's definitely feeling more positive overall, making some of these aspects, especially the quincunx to Saturn, especially the square to Mars, these are definitely dealing more with these, especially Saturn and Pisces. This is definitely dealing more with like society and the way that it's structured. And with it being at the end of Pisces, it definitely makes things very much so like just super foggy and it's retrograde. So it's like it's up in the air. Definitely things can feel up in the air when it comes to how we organize things and structure things and governments and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, the square to Mars and Taurus is like, oh yeah, it's like we definitely maybe want to feel like things are a certain way, with the Leo. Maybe even get a little bit stubborn with that. But squaring a Mars and Taurus, the interesting thing about this is that this moon it would rather be where Mars is because it's exalted there. Mars probably would prefer to be where the moon is. It's not exalted in Leo or anything like that, but at least it's a fire sign, so it can kind of deal with that. So that's kind of the nice thing about that particular square, but I think it's really going to come down to with the Mars and Taurus is like, how resilient are you still? Even when things aren't going exactly the way that you want, how resilient are you? And then trying to Chiron is like, oh, can you find beauty in the weird, the austere, the aspects of you that may not look the prettiest? Can you vibe with those aspects too? Now, astrologically, we do also have Venus sextiling Uranus and Mercury sextiling Jupiter and trining the North Node and sextiling the South Node. So we do have a lot of positive aspects today in general. But like I said, the day like today, with Ten of Swords and King of Wands in reverse, it's definitely going to be a perceptual altering kind of day. Now, let's get another card. I have the Two of Swords in reverse. There is something that is being released. The Two of Swords normally speaks to a stalemate and energy being stuck. This Two of Swords actually is releasing energy. So there's going to be some sort of release of energy. The floodgates are kind of opening, and we're probably going to see why exactly this deer has a bunch of freaking arrows in it and swords and all that sort of stuff in it. It's been impaled, and then of course we have this King of Wands. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something interesting regarding Joe Biden today, or at the very least hinted at. And by that I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him potentially resign or at least drop out of the race. It could happen, but and these energies honestly kind of support it too, not even gonna lie. So these cards kind of support it. But I think regardless of what happens today, there is something that is being released with that Two of Swords. There is like a go ahead. There is a green light here. And it seems like the green light is going to be revealing why it's going to be revealing this whole Ten of Swords. And honestly, it almost feels like it's kind of been like this for a while. Like the deer's probably been dead for a while. The situation's probably been dead for a while, and like the King of Wands in reverse is sort of like almost trying to make us believe that it's not, but it actually is. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like we get some truth bomb that drops today. I'm not gonna lie, that's just what it feels like, especially with the Venus sextiling to Uranus energy. That's like, how are we going to receive this? Especially with Uranus being news that comes out of, it can be things that come out of nowhere, and it's in Taurus. So it's like, yeah, this could definitely come out of nowhere. Mercury, the planet of communications, sextiling Jupiter, which is in Gemini, which is going to definitely bring up some type of facts. Jupiter being in Gemini, and then trining the North Node and sextiling the South Node. So it's, yeah, I feel like today there's probably some type of truth bomb that drops. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Ultimately, though, how does it affect you in your personal life? Don't allow yourself to be gaslighted today. Don't allow yourself to just believe the first thing that you see or the sensationalized aspects of this, because with the moon in Leo, it can definitely bring a sensationalism to whatever may happen news wise today. And like I said, and today may not necessarily be the day where the big news drops, but there's definitely at least a green light to begin to reveal what's probably been going on for a while. Now, for the Oracle card, I have the card of conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. I think this is kind of a nice thing, honestly. And honestly, I would say for you personally, because I've been talking more so about what may be happening geopolitically, but I will say personally for you, the Two of Swords, what it's going to be sort of giving you the green light to is, maybe ideas or, maybe things that maybe have been needing to be addressed for a while. Maybe it's time for you to finally give yourself the green light to do that thing. You've been probably holding up for too long or waiting for a certain answer or whatever like that. Like, maybe you're waiting, like maybe if you want to go to school, if you want to write that book, if you want to start that business, whatever like that, you've been kind of waiting for the green light. I think today is kind of like your green light. Although it's interesting because you would think with the planet of business, Saturn being retrograde, it's probably not necessarily the best time to start it. But at the same time, you still ultimately, even regardless of the astrology, you got to do what your heart is calling you to do. And I think that's the part with the moon's quincunx Saturn is that, yeah, sure, it's awkward, but that doesn't mean that it can't be done. So I think this is about realizing that there is infinite potential here and that we can do something, and that even if with that Ten of Swords in reverse, that Ten of Swords right here, yeah, maybe what comes to the end is our fear that it can't happen, or this idea with that King of Wands in reverse that it can't happen, that we're not good enough, or we're not strong enough, or we're not charismatic enough. I think that's what has to end here. So it's about realizing our potential and finally moving forward, because we're being given the green light today. I'm going to draw one more of these. Card of communication comes up too. The card of communication comes up as well. So definitely communicate that out to the universe. And like I said, just keep your eyes peeled for what is communicated today in like your personal life, and like social media and just regular media in general. Just pay attention to what's communicated. There's some truths that are being dropped. I don't know if they're going to be as hidden. I don't know if it's just going to come all out, but something is definitely brewing. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to do it for your tarot card reading today. I trust this message will assist you on your journey today. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. And if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below too. My website, jphoenix.com, or you can email me. That is also in the description. But y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful, marvelous Monday, and I will see you all on the next tarot card reading. It's storming here. Later.